I just one point about the Tottenham-Manchester City saga that's about to unfold, the first chapter tomorrow. You played teams 3 times in about less than a fortnight. I have a feeling, I'd put this to you, Liam, and then to John. When you play teams like 3 times in a fortnight, you get to know each other. You get to know how to sort of neutralise the other team. I have a feeling that isn't great from City's point of view, with the league match in particular in mind. It kind of, teams can cancel each other out when they play 3 times in a short period of time. Does that make sense to you?
Well, it's going to be a tight affair. Anything with Pochettino involved, I think he's tactically very astute, and he'll set his team up to stop Man City doing what they're good at doing. So I expect every single one of those games, all 3 games, to be very, very tight.
Yeah.
I don't see Manchester City destroying Tottenham by any means. I think it's going to be tight, and they could drop points to Tottenham in the league, or they could even go out to them in the Champions League, especially if they think that it's a foregone conclusion that they're going to win and there is a complacency element in their game.
Yeah, John,
I don't think there's a complacent element in their game when they're playing the top teams, Eamon.
No,
you know what I mean?
No.
But it's a habit to try and switch it on. I don't think they do that. I don't believe at all in the familiarity situation. No, not at all. Every game is different, Damon.
Yeah.
I've gone back over the years, and I'm going back a long time, when they used to have the 3 or 4 games at Christmas. You remember?
Yes.
I remember one time in particular, I think West Ham were playing Blackburn, and this is years and years ago. I think Blackburn went to West Ham. I think they beat them 4-0 or 5-0.
Yeah.
They played the next day, and West Ham beat them 6-0. So, I'm only giving you my experience. I don't think. I think it's a game of football. I don't think if it was that easy to cancel Joe Bloggs out, it doesn't happen.
Okay.
It doesn't I don't think it happens anyway.
We'll see what happens in the 3 matches. There is a point that Liam made there that fascinates me, and I think it's right. Pochettino, when Spurs went to Anfield last Sunday week, I think for the first half hour in particular, Liverpool's 2 fullbacks, Robertson and the young lad Trent Alexander, they were running riot. And he did make a change, Pochettino. At half-time certainly made a change. He put Danny Rose more forward to block Alexander-Arnold. He blocked Robertson. He cut out that supply line. And I think the point Liam was making is Pochettino can make changes, tactical changes during the game that can be very effective, and it was.
I don't agree with that.
You don't?
No.
Okay.
Right, because I'll tell you why. Liverpool played like that every week.
Yep.
Every week. You know that the 2 fullbacks are one of the main attackers.
Yep.
Why wasn't that taken care of from the start of the match?
Yep.
Why did we have to wait 20 minutes when Liverpool, as you say, were running riot before Pochettino put it right? I'm only going back on the tactical thing.
Yep.
And if you look back on the tactical thing as well, like the Liverpool goal, first one, wasn't very well defended.
No.
And the second one was dreadfully defended. Right? Do you remember the ball went in?
Yeah.
It was only cleared back out to...
Yeah, but the point, John, I think the point Liam,
let me finish on that.
Okay.
Right, because you're talking about tactics, right? Tactics there is the main tactic is being well organised and doing the stuff on that. In the Liverpool match, they were badly defended for the first goal. The second goal was only half clear to Robertson, and they were running out.
Yep.
Running out. Now, what I believe in football is when you get the ball that's only half cleared or not cleared at all, you hold your ground.
Yep.
They ran out and left Salah to get the head around for the goalkeeper to make a mistake. That's tactics, Eamon. That's preparation. And that's better than tactics.
Yeah, no, the point, I think, Liam, the point I'm trying to make, and I agree with you, is that this fella, Pochettino, over a match, never mind 3 matches, may have a tactical edge on Guardiola. It certainly wouldn't be found wanting. John is shaking his head vigorously, saying we're talking rubbish.
Yeah. Well, I'm not saying you're talking rubbish.
No,
I don't agree that tactics are going to win the match against Liverpool, between Spurs and...
Okay.
I don't think it's tactics going to win. It's going to be the players, Eamon, the good players. In other words, what's the big tactic? Stop Kane.
He's on a roll here, Liam. You're going to have to stop him.
I mean, how are you going to stop Kane? How are you going to stop Aguero? But these players are terrific players. You have to play well, and the players have to do the stuff. It could be a tactic. Okay, if you're talking about tactics, stop Kane.
Right.
He's main goal scorer. Stop Aguero. But you're trying to do that anyway. But that's what makes good players. It's impossible to stop them, Eamon, with a tactic.
Okay, I'm getting out of this argument. Liam.
Well, like if you want to stop Liverpool's full-backs, you kind of double up on them. You put somebody over there to help your full-back. And he's not an attacking player. He's going to sit in a position. And I think Pochettino is a very he's a very calculated coach. I don't think he lets his team go and play. I think he'll realise that Man City, player for player, are better than his team, so he's got to do something, Eamon, and I think he will be very tight and probably sit and have as many people behind the ball and try and catch Man City on the break, like a lot of teams do. Like, we've seen teams stop Barcelona that way. I know I'm going back a few years, but Mourinho, when he had Inter Milan, remember, they sat on the edge of the box and just invited Barcelona on, and then they would catch them on the break. And I can see Tottenham trying to do something similar. They'll pack the defence out. They'll probably leave just one striker up. It might be Kane, and they're just trying to defend and hit City on the break. And I think it's going to be like that over the 3 games. I don't see Man City winning by 2 or 3-0, Eamon. I think it's going to be very tight.
Yeah, John, just thinking about those 3 games, one of them, of course, a league game, and 2 legs of Champions League quarter-final. If City, they do, I think, have a weakness at the back, then Tottenham do have forwards who can hurt you. Harry Kane, the most obvious. Eriksen, Son, the Korean, and also Dele Alli. So they have got attacking players, Spurs, that can expose any weakness.
Spurs have got some terrific players, Eamon. But they have to go and play. And if you look at the recent results between City and Spurs, City have hammered them quite a few times.
Yeah, Spurs notably hammered them. The first hiding Guardiola got when he came to England in his first season was away to Spurs. Spurs hammered them. Yeah, but that's 3 years ago.
3 years ago.
Yeah.
But if you look at recent results between Spurs and
well, City beat them 1-0 at Wembley in their most recent league game.
But if you look at over the last 2 seasons, they've beaten Spurs well.
Yeah.
And again, like if you talk about commitment, I mean, if you look at Spurs, for example, again against Liverpool, I think for 30 minutes, 35 minutes, they were terrible.
Yeah.
Eriksen, Dele Alli, never kicked the ball.
No.
Never kicked the ball in the match. I was very, very disappointed with Spurs in that. And then they got into the game in the second half. But the players that you were depending on, this is what we've got to see. What's Dele Alli going to do? Is Eriksen, is he going to disappear? And all that. That's all part of it.
Yeah.
It's going to be tight because they have terrific players, Spurs. There's no doubt about that. Are they going to play on the day? Yeah. The tactics will be one thing, as Liam says. They might sit back. They might have to sit back because City have so much possession of the ball.
Yeah.
And depends how they do that. As all teams have to do it. I don't think it'll be necessarily a tactic for Pochettino to do it. I think he's going to have to do it because most teams have to do it.
Yeah, well, tomorrow night is the first chapter of that saga.